We have two distinguished gentlemen here to talk about, of course, future of enterprise IT. Mr. Gonzales, President of my organization, Cloud Security Alliance Philippines. And of course, Joseph Anthony Cruz, Digital Platforms Head and Vice President of Security Bank Corporation. Gentlemen, the floor is yours. Gonz, you can use this.
All right, cool. O sige, welcome Joseph. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, bro. Thank you.
All right, sige. So we'll get on with the questions now. So I'm going to pitch Joseph some questions and then he's going to answer. Joseph, by the way, is with the digital platform of Security Bank. No, so we are very fortunate to have him here today so that he can share his thoughts about what cloud is and how it affects the data center strategy of banking. So, brother, here we go, no? So how is cloud transformation reshaping traditional banking IT infrastructure? And what are the key challenges financial institutions face in migrating critical workloads to the cloud?
Yeah, so thank you for that question, bro. So, yeah, actually, the introduction of cloud computing changed the way banks strategize on how they're setting up their IT landscape or IT infrastructure, as we say, right? So, I like to highlight 4 key benefits, no, that the cloud brings to the table for the different banks. So, first up is agility, right? So, imagine before, or I like to compare it from the past up to the present right now. So, with the introduction of the cloud, if ever you'll be needing some IT resources or IT capacity, you would be able to get it in an instant. Unlike before, wherein you have to invest and then you have to go to the whole long procurement process of acquiring that resources. With the cloud, you have the agility to basically get those resources upfront, and you don't have to manage all those infrastructure. So you can focus more on innovation and improving your customer experiences, right? Second benefit is scalability and flexibility. So imagine before, when you're setting up your infrastructure, you have to guess your capacity, the IT capacity that you will probably need. But with the introduction of cloud, you can always scale up and down on demand, on fluctuating demand. And that's very beneficial. No? Again, you don't really have to focus on your infrastructure. You just have to basically set it up properly, use the cloud services or use the available cloud services that is available for you, and then you can configure it so that it will scale up or down, again, depending on the needed demand. Third is cost. So, again, going back to guessing your IT capacity. No? So before, when you're guessing your IT capacity, it will either go 2 ways. So it will either, you will provision a capacity that is more than what you really need, and then you will end up having idle resources sitting up in your data center. And those are incurring costs. Or you can either set it up in a way that you think that that's the limit, and then if it so happens that you exceed that limit, then you will probably result in an outages. And that will be very that will be a headache for you if you're in the IT operations, right? So with the cloud offers you pay as you go model. So you'll just have to pay with whatever resources that you are consuming, and then that's it. If you're not consuming anything, then you're not paying anything. And then lastly is enhanced security. So with the cloud, actually, the way they work with their customers or even with the bank, right? They have shared responsibility model wherein your cloud provider will take care of the security of your IT infrastructure, whereas you as a customer, for example, banks, you are in charge of ensuring that configuring the right security practices in place in the applications that you are deploying to the cloud, right? At the same time, these different cloud providers, they have different attestations and certifications already, which will gonna help you in achieving your regulatory obligations.
That's very good. Thank you for that, Joseph. So it's more about speed, efficiency, flexibility, and security.
Yes. Right. So I think I wasn't able to address the challenges, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I totally forgot that. Oh. So for me, I see 3 challenges that banks are encountering in moving to the cloud. No? So the first one is really more about data residency. So I'd like to highlight that, even though we don't have that data residency requirement here in the Philippines, actually, it's still, the bank needs to still carefully plan or create a strategy, a sound strategy to be able to ensure that that the data they are moving to the cloud, or the data that they are storing to the cloud are secured, right? Second is the complexity of legacy systems. So usually in the banks, especially your core systems, they have proprietary architecture, they have complex architecture that when you're moving them to the cloud, it more often than not, it will require you to replatform, refactor, or sometimes even replace the vendor so that it will be suitable to the cloud, right? And third is actually really more on the resistance. So obviously, usually the banks, it's a change of mindset when you're moving to the cloud. So definitely there will be a change in the ways of working, in your processes, in your culture. So it's a change of mindset. So sometimes you really have to navigate through your organization, convince your stakeholders, convince the business to have a change in mindset on how you will operate in the cloud.
Thank you. Thank you for that. So let's move on to a more popular topic right now, no, which is AI or artificial intelligence. How is AI being leveraged in cloud-driven banking operations to enhance predictive maintenance, fraud detection, and operational efficiency?
Thank you for that question, Gonz. So yeah, actually, AI plays a pivotal role. The good thing for us right now, the technologies are already available for us, no. So for instance, we already have Amazon SageMaker, Google AI, which we can use to predict system downtimes or service disruptions, right? We can also use we can also use them for fraud evaluation, right? Fraud detection, and even to increase our operational efficiency, right? We have services also like Amazon Fraud Evaluator, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm sure Azure also has an equivalent one, which allows us to detect a possible fraud case faster and even more accurate than before. So this definitely helpful if ever you will have your digital channel for digital bank site. Imagine you would be able to easily detect possible fraud case within your mobile app. Right.
So you said a while ago, kanina, Joseph, that cybersecurity, is very important in terms of cloud computing. I'd like to zoom in on that, no? And given the strict regulatory frameworks, particularly in information risk management, how should banks approach cloud security compliance and third-party risk management, especially for CSPs?
Yeah, that's a good point, and that's usually the questions that are being discussed or being the topic that's being discussed when you're moving to the cloud, right? So basically, no, if you will be considering a cloud as part of your strategy, right? You need to continuously review and update your security policy because you have to consider your cloud environment that will be in place. So you have to consider all the different security guardrails that will cut across the different domains from network, data, application, your whole cloud environment, and even those monitoring tools that you're planning to put in place to basically monitor all the activities happening within your environment, right? There's also a need to review the third-party risk management process because with the different cloud providers itself bring an ecosystem of partners. So sometimes if you're leveraging a partner before outside of the cloud, and then you're getting into an engagement with one of the cloud providers, usually those providers already have partners in place that you can easily use. Their products are already curated within that cloud environment, wherein you can easily use their product within the whole cloud ecosystem.
Do you think that Philippine companies get tripped up or kind of confused with the shared responsibility model for cloud?
Yes, actually. So I think it's just a matter of education. So as long as you explain it carefully, maybe cite some examples on how this shared security responsibility will come into play, right? Then I think people will be able to understand. But again, it really depends on the acceptance of the organization also. So it's really a change in mindset.
Right. Okay, cool. So for the future of cloud in banking, what role will cloud computing play in shaping the future of digital banking? And how do you see innovations like serverless computing, blockchain, or even quantum computing influencing financial services?
And nice question. Thank you for that question also. Yeah. So basically, cloud computing today is already playing a critical role in the digital transformation of the different organizations. So not only banks, but basically almost all organizations undergoing digital transformation right now. the benefits that the cloud bring to the table that I highlighted earlier actually are all recipe for success to be able to easily really implement those transformations, right? The innovations such as the serverless computing, blockchain, quantum computing, although quantum computing is still at its early stage, but if you'll come to think of it, those technologies will really come into play for you to be able to improve your customer experience and again continuously innovate no for your customer no, maybe automate some banking processes, streamline some workflows, or even enhance your decision making, for example for credit card applications.
So do you see banks more and more they will move your workloads or your data to the cloud than retain them on-prem?
If you're gonna ask me, I'm actually really in favor of moving it to the cloud, right? Because again, the cloud already gives. I mean, the benefits that I highlighted earlier. For me, those are enough reasons already to really bring your workloads because it will be very beneficial for your operations. Again, if you really want to focus on your customer, if you really want to improve the experience of your customers when they're using your product, then the benefits that the cloud bring is actually will be very useful for you.
So I guess what's more important is the customer experience, no? So having an infrastructure like the cloud can just help deliver better services to the consumer.
Yes. So at the end of the day, it's all about the customers, because they are the one bringing the revenue.
Yes. So let's not forget, no. So we are here because of our customers, and so I think Joseph has given us some great insights into what is the cloud, how it helps the banking industry, and it could be applied as well to your sector as well. So thank you very much, Joseph, for this session.
My pleasure.
Thank you, brother.